Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah.
Welcome back to Big Mama's house, y'all. Mama and Lizard are here with you today to talk about Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 8.
Cody is nutty.
You just had to say hello. Hey, everybody, we're back again. Grey's Anatomy didn't have an episode this Thursday, so it feels like it's been a long time since we've talked to everybody. So, hello or welcome, or whichever. Welcome back. We're very happy to have you here. Please like, share, subscribe because it's all free and it really helps us. So we would appreciate that. If you have any, enjoyment from us at all. Um, so this episode, Cody shows the reason why his kids hate him. It just becomes so, like I read it so many times this episode. It's crazy. And we open up, and I noticed that in the little recap of what last episode, whatever, and like right before this episode starts, that he says, "My divorces have created contemptuous enemies," and I'm looking around going, who? No one cares about you. Now, Mary loves you still and would be with you if you weren't such a dick. Janelle is just over you and just doesn't want to know anything to do with you.
The only reason why Janelle still talks to him is because of the property.
Right? And Christine is like got a new man and just doesn't ever want to deal with him again, which I understand because I don't like my ex either. And I would be polite with him for my children's sake if at those functions, but I would never choose to be in the same room with him because we don't get along. That's why we're divorced. We don't like each other. That's the whole point. So like I get that. But so I'm just like, who are these contemptuous enemies? Like he thinks that these people are sitting around all day going, your father hated you and me and all of us our entire lives. No one cares. No one's talking about you except you.
And the only one who's saying that is Cody to Robin or kids.
Right? Like he's made this entire narrative, now I'm sure his children sit around and talk shit about him because they're talking about, oh, like when we were kids, dad was great. And then Robin comes along and we're, dog shit. Because it's the truth.
Right?
It's what happened. That is history. Well, guys, I know you're out there. There are 19 of you, okay? Obviously not the little ones. Not talking about them because I don't talk to minors, whatever. You guys want to tell your stories? Do you want to tell the truth? Okay, so maybe we can get your dad to like come to some sort of come to Jesus moment and realize, hey, I really did change and it really was all my responsibility and I want to take accountability and make acceptance for that. Girl, come on, guys. You guys need to come together as one unit without the emotion and just come armed with written stories. Just stories of everything that you can, just proof.
But let's be honest, it's not their responsibility to force their dad to change. Cody is obviously shown that he doesn't want to. He only cares about one wife, and even has said to them, and where they can see it, that he apparently never loved their mothers, and he made the mistake of marrying them.
I know, and that is something that you can't really unsay and you can't unhear. And as I've had my mother tell me to me, not through other people, that she wished she would have aborted me. And what that does to you, in your head and in your heart, it fucks you up. Okay, if to have your own mother wish that you never, existed. And that's basically what he was saying in that moment too. And unintentionally, I'm sure he was only referring to his wives in that moment because, he's so self-centered and single-minded but he also meant that, that would erase his children too.
Right?
And I don't think he realized that implication when he was saying all that shit.
That's because he's a narcissistic dick.
Exactly. Yes. So anyway, back to the show, guys. I'm so sorry we deviated there a sec, but so look, well, Christine's having a dinner for David with her kids. Peyton is meeting him for the first time. Yeah, we're gonna a lot of this show right now is them dating all this other crap, and unless it pertains to something new, like with the kids or whatever, like I'm gonna mention that Peyton is only meeting him for the first time, and they're already like getting like the wedding venues and shit.
He hasn't even met all our kids. Wait. I didn't realize that watching it, but yeah, at that point, she was looking at wedding venues before all her kids have met this guy.
Yeah, at this point, Gwendolyn hasn't even met him at all yet either.
I'm all for love and everything, but considering your relationship only lasted like less than a year if we got married, and now we're being forced to rewatch the dating after they already showed us the wedding, it's very lackluster. It's not interesting.
Yeah, that's why I literally wrote next, blah blah, getting married in October of 2023. Her dad approved. See, that's new, like, thing, because they made a big deal at the wedding. We watched the wedding, the episodes, at the end of last season, and it was really cute how her dad is a little tiny old guy, who can barely walk, walked her down the aisle, and I think she mostly walked him. Um, and it was very, very sweet. And then here the story about how her dad met David and he approves of him and gave his blessing for them to get married and all that. I thought that was really cute, and I wrote that down because it's new and it's interesting. But with the whole dating and I love yous and the blah, 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 I don't care. We've seen it. We don't care.
And Peyton actually makes mention of like Grandpa who takes 4 minutes to get from his chair, got
10 minutes. She said 10 minutes. You know, the chair.
10 minutes to get from his own chair, got up and got David a plate of food. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, only that's how you know that your parents approve of someone, I guess.
Right, and in that culture, and I know that at some point her dad was a polygamist.
Yeah.
Men in that culture don't do that. Women bring them food, and so for her dad to get up, especially at his age, and to bring David a plate of food, that is a sign of respect and approval. Which, to me, I mean, that would have been because, like she said, it meant so much that her dad approved, and that would be a big deal for me too.
Yeah.
You know.
And then David also talks about his sisters, but again, like we're through with Christine and David. We've already watched your wedding. Show us more of the drama
And the current stuff,
right?
And David will meet Janelle and some of her kids the next weekend, so I guess that's next episode. And Cody says he's over the regret with Christine and wishes they could have been friends, but the way she left was a betrayal, and he don't want nothing to do with her. And I'm just like, every time somebody does anything you don't want, it's a betrayal. Oh my God, Robin, you got the wrong cereal. That's a betrayal.
No, not for Robin. It must have been the other wives telling her to get the wrong cereal.
Or the evil, grocery guy put the wrong stuff in her bag. It's just stupid. Anyway, after the first commercial, Cody's 55th birthday, which is actually this year, more current event than ever we've seen, I think, so far. It's January 17th of this year. He turned 55 and says he lost a sense of direction for his life and his family after, the whole divorce thing, whatever. And Robin says that Cody's been angry and lost the last few years. And I'm like, well, maybe he's lost because he's pushed his entire family away.
No, but even beforehand, he was talking about how even when Christine was about to have her divorce with them, and like right before, we saw that scene about how just irritated and angry he is about just like like being just weirdly just upset about everything that the other wives do, and that's what really pushed Christine away. Like this has not just been COVID or again like the wives leaving. This has been like a years long thing that caused everyone to leave.
Well, I'm going to mention again what I mentioned way back before even COVID happened. And when all the little grumpies and the, whatever was everybody started.
Yeah.
I think he went through some sort of like midlife crisis. Men go through something similar to what women go through,
menopause,
like hormonally, and it's literally a menopause. And there's not a lot of talk about it because men don't want to admit that their testosterone goes down, and they lose some of their manliness or whatever. Even though there's a lot of commercials that say, "Oh, improve your tea," whatever. Anywho, I think it's been some sort of midlife crisis, and I think now that that period is kind of passing and he's kind of leveling out a bit, he's got all kinds of regrets, but he doesn't want to admit it that it was him because
that is his fault.
I really think it was some sort of midlife crisis. I for real do.
So honestly, we need to get remove midlife crisis, and we just need to add menopause because
right
when we remove that stigma of them just having a weird, like they've hit the middle of their life and they go buy a sports car. Let's basically what it is. Their hormones change, and so they're not making the best decisions.
And also at that period of life, people start thinking about their life so far, which, by 45, it's at least half over, maybe 2/3. And people are like, oh my God, what have I done with my life? And I've only ever done this and whatever, and I want to live for me
And
now.
then with the hormones changing, it only makes those thoughts worse.
Yeah, and so it's like they don't understand that that's a legit medical condition and that people need to make them get help.
Like, we need the same support for menopause as menopause.
Absolutely.
And especially at the doctors, because men don't ever usually get tested for their testosterone or their actual hormones, because, spoiler alert, men do have estrogen. Spoiler alert, it is important for their biology.
And for their mental health too, because if your hormones are off, ladies, any of you who have perimenopause, y'all know when your hormones are fluctuating, you feel a little crazy.
And with, again, there's a lot of stigma around like men's mental health that also makes
And men hormones.
and makes them unwilling to even talk about it. I'm not saying that he shouldn't.
These are not excuses,
No,
y'all.
no. These are explanations. There are no excuses for the nonsense that he has put his entire family through.
And if Robin was a good wife, she would have made his ass go to the hospital, okay, or to the doctor, because Papa, back in the day, before he was like maybe 30 years old, and was acting way out of a character, very angry all the time, just mean, hateful, in a way that this is not him. And I knew something was not right. And so I was like, look, you're taking your ass to the doctor or I'm leaving you. You pick one. And he knows that I mean what I say.
Yeah.
And so he took his ass to the doctor. And guess what? He was diabetic. His sugar was like over 600 and had been for God knows how long. And that was making his personality changes. Shit like that is real, y'all. So yes, men do need to be forced to go to the doctor because they're stubborn and they think, oh, I'm fine, whatever. And they don't even maybe not even realize what they're doing. Because when your stuff's not quite right, you act in a way and then you don't realize it till later.
It's very, as I put it, it's like you're at the beach. You're kind of like at the beach with water at your legs, and suddenly it's like a tsunami. You're hit by it suddenly, and you don't know what happened during it until you come up for air.
That's that's a really good analogy.
That's
very good.
There's been many years of this that I have time to think about it.
That's very true. That's very true. So back to the show, you guys. Cody says he's meeting Janelle the next day to discuss business. And he said he hopes to be a dad again. And I'm like, dude, I hope so too. That's all. I had a lot to say, but I'm just like, I hope so too.
Well, according to what happened at the funeral, you kind of got no contact with the last of the kids that will talk to you. So obviously you weren't really wanting to be a dad again. So
well, because it's always about them. Right. So and Robin says the reason he's been a dick, I'm paraphrasing obviously, is because he's been hurt. He's hurt, and that's not really who he is. And I'm like, okay, you can use that for a week, maybe a month. Okay, or if like someone dies, you go through a divorce, 6 months, fine, okay, but at that point, if it's beyond that, there's a serious depression going on or something, because if it's lingering that badly beyond that, again, you need to seek medical attention because something's not right. Big changes, things like that, and happen in life, divorces, deaths, things like that, they can alter your brain chemistry for a while. And you may need to take medication in order to balance out. And it's not going to maybe be a forever thing, but at least until you get, more
get you over basically make sure you have a boat before you cross the lake.
Another good point there. He says for his birthday, he vows this year to do a new thing and vow to God from here on out to be the loving dad he's supposed to be and to make his family whole again. Now, remember that, okay? Remember that, y'all. Okay, this is the beginning of the episode, right at the first commercial. He says he vows to God and himself that from here on out, as of January this year, he's going to be a loving dad and make his family whole again. Please remember that. Keep that in mind. Just hold on to that in your heart.
Let's keep it in mind till the end of the episode.
Right? I'm just like, hold on to that because He's gonna prove himself. He's gonna prove himself this episode. Just watch. So then Christine and David go window shopping. They're not buying anything, but basically she's just showing him what she wants. And she said Cody just gave her a ring. She didn't get to pick anything, and it was the Clotter ring that they all wore. Um, and Janelle says that if she ever got married again, she would just want to go up on a mountaintop and just have a simple gold band and maybe even get married in jeans because, Janelle, she's all about simple and easy. Mary says she definitely knows what she wants and doesn't want because, she's a smart woman. And it's way too soon to think about things like dating and rings and weddings. So she's a smart woman. She knows herself. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that, Cody. And there's nothing wrong with that, Christine. There's nothing wrong with that, Janelle.
Right.
When you know what you want what you want. There's nothing wrong with that. And knowing yourself is a good thing. And I think now that they know that, maybe if they can understand Mary when they were younger. Because remember, Janelle was always the quiet one, never really talked, always trying to supposedly keep the peace. Christine says the same thing. And they're like, oh, Mary was just the big loudmouth one and always tried to, control everything.
Maybe she was the one keeping things going.
And again, she knew what she wanted and that's what she thought it should be done. That's how everyone is. Okay? Especially if you're type A. Every single person in this house is a type A. And you have to learn how to give and take. And maybe when they were younger, Mary didn't know how to do that very well. But guess what? They're all grown now. And everyone is different now. So get over your shit and be friends.
And here's the thing, though. I don't think that they are required to be friends, but I think they should at least get along, especially the wives, especially they've all had to deal with Cody, Mary the longest. And again, get along for their families. And even Mary says because we talked about the carriage house this episode, that she had to let go of control to allow her friends to be able to just fix up the carriage house for her so that she wouldn't have to worry about it.
Which is something that is really, really hard for Mary to do. That would be impossible for me to do. I know myself. I know me. I know what I want. And I could not turn over control, something like that. That would be something that important to me. I couldn't do it. So I have to talk to Mary because she's better than I am. And that shows also how much trust that she has not only in Jen, but in her decorator friend Blair. So that should make them feel super blessed because I couldn't do it. I don't care. Even if it was you, I trust you beyond. And yeah, I know you know me.
For picture updates.
Yeah, and I know you know me, but I still couldn't not see it the entire process. I couldn't do it. So after the second commercial, Janelle and Cody meet to discuss the money owed to pay off Coyote Pass. And at one point, it kind of sounds like Janelle was offering to sit down and help him figure out how to come up with the money or how to restructure or do something, because she's good with the money and stuff. And then she's like, "Hey, want to buy me out?" And I think it completely caught him off guard because let's be real, we all know he's broke. He ain't got the money.
Actually, apparently him and Rob just.
Before you get there, I want to wait till we're done talking about the Coyote property with Janelle.
Okay.
Because I have a whole thing about that.
Okay, I will wait then.
Sorry, I just didn't want to get ahead because I have a whole thing about that.
Okay.
And so Cody immediately says, "Well, what about us?" And Janelle says, "Honey, we don't exist in the same universe anymore. I think you're awesome, and there's still a little spark there when we're together, but I don't foresee anything long term." And I'm just like, I love you, Janelle. You are the hero of this episode. And I'm just like, she keeps dropping these truth bombs on him and just being so real. And the fact that she's honest with him for once. None of these women will just be blunt and honest. And just because they know he's going to blow up at some point, but they're in public, so she's a little bit safe. And she asked the same thing that I did. She talks about, "Hey, want to buy me out?" To immediately, "What about us?" That's not what we were talking about.
Diversion.
And it is a diversionary tactic away from the finances. And you bet your sweet patootie it is, Janelle. Absolutely 1,000% it is.
Yeah, but it's just Cody doesn't see it that way because Cody only cares about Cody.
True.
And sometimes Robin.
And Cody says he'll never say a bad word about Mary again after they talked.
Again, I like to put again. So he's basically just admitted he's talked crap about Mary for a long time.
Well, and we all know it. It's fucking on video. There's no he can deny it because let's be real, he denies everything he's ever said. But yeah, it's on video and there's lots and lots of evidence.
I mean, there's a current very famous orange felon that also denies things that he said on live TV.
Very similar personalities, and they could be friends. So Cody says he talks about reconciling with Janelle because he wants to be in good graces with his kids again. But reconciling with her requires a game where he has to give her all the power in the relationship. And I'm like, what power?
There is no.
But that's it. That statement right there. The only reason he wants to reconcile with Janelle is because he wants to be in good graces with his kids again.
Which
that's the shit that you say that the reason your kids hate you. Because you're using their mother, their mom, as a pawn to get back to them. You're treating her like shit again. And that's why they hate you.
And the whole thing about it is the reason why Janelle even divorced him. It didn't happen before the kids didn't like him. It was because her kids weren't liking him. They said, he's treating you like crap and we're not okay with it. And he's treating us like crap and we're not okay with it. Janelle literally is only left because she supports her kids, and since he wasn't being a good dad, there was no reason for her to be a wife.
Indeed. Very well said. So Janelle replied, you complained about my independence, and I complained about your selfishness and self-absorption, and now the kids. And I'm like, yes, queen. The truth is coming for you, Cody Brown.
I still think she should have been a little bit more blunt this episode, but me and you are just blunt people. We'll just say it.
Yeah, and there's a nice way to say things bluntly, and there's a dick way to say things bluntly. Hopefully we find the nice ways.
And with some people, though, you can't do the nice way. The nice way doesn't work.
Malbo is one of those people.
Unfortunately, I think Cody's going to be one of those people, but he's also someone who's really defensive. So going that super blunt way could also just...
Which is why I said, sit down, write down every memory you have of where he chose Robin and her kids over you guys and your mom. And I'm talking about when you were young, not when you're adults. And I understand that things, you still need your parents when you're adults and all that still. And you can include those too. But you want to be able to confront someone with receipts, not with you did this and you did that and blah, 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 and make it a free-for-all, because that's not how anything gets resolved. You have to come with proof and show, like, look, this is what you did to make me feel like shit. This is what you did to make me feel like shit. You know what I mean? And so, and come armed and try to keep your emotions, because they're going to be super high, out of it as much as possible so that you can get your point across.
But I think for a lot of kids now, they don't even care to try because, again, he didn't talk to any of his kids. And even later in this episode, Mom is going to talk about how he still keeps making excuses for not talking to his kids in front of Janelle when he just said he wants to be a better dad to his kids. And then Garrison. That was a lot of the kids' trigger to give up on him. And I don't blame them. I mean,
yeah, none of that's happened yet, though.
Yeah, but again, he just said he wants to be a better dad. But again, you're going to talk about in a little bit about he's still making excuses. He just said it.
I don't even know if anything after March has, because I think they shut down production.
Yeah.
And so I don't even think that anything in this season will be past March.
I don't think so either.
So that's why I keep saying all this stuff is repeated, and it's because they had to throw shit together and make enough because most of their season got shut down after what happened after his suicide. Anyway, you guys, sorry about that. So so she calls Robin his sacred cow, and that's very true. And for those of you who don't know what that means, it's Buddhism that has sacred cows, and they worship the cows.
It's also Hindu.
I thought
it was Hindu.
Both. I don't remember.
I know Hindus
there is a religion where people, worship cows, and it is like a big crime to, hurt cows or to do anything against them. Um, and so people
Hamburger.
have like these little golden calf statues and things like that. So it is a big deal in a lot of part of the world. So that's what that means. They're worshipped is basically what it means.
Or maybe she just wanted a sneaky way to call her a cow.
No, I know a lot of people are gonna say that, but that's not what that's why I'm explaining what the sacred
Yeah.
cow reference means.
Janelle isn't like that.
No, and even if she did, I think Janelle just come out and call her a cow. Um, so after the third commercial, it's Mary's birthday because her birthday is January 16th. And she gets to see her new business home, and it's the remodeled carriage house. And it's been a month approximately since her split with Cody. And Jen got to be her contractor, and Blair did all the designing. And there's a really cool workout space upstairs for her. And now we know how she looks so good this coming up season because, well, it doesn't matter how long it's been since you've seen a kid, you're always a mom. And so I know Mary probably having not seen the Garrison um, since Logan's wedding. And I don't know what their interaction was there, kind of thing. But you always miss, and you're always going to miss that kid, and you're always going to feel guilty that, oh, that's something I could have done, shoulda, coulda, woulda. And all of the moms are feeling that, but Mary is isolated from the rest of the family and gets no support. Um,
Well, she also mentioned about how she basically made her own table. If they were, they
yes, and I'm like, I think of that, and it's so,
Oh, it was so nice. And also she talks about these teddy bears that she made from her mom's favorite shirts. And it was just so like, oh my goodness. And she was in tears, y'all. It was so sweet.
Yeah, because her mom, I mean, I don't know if y'all knew how long you watched it, but her mom was just like one of those sweet little old grandmas that always has good advice and a hug and cookies and, just one of those sweet people. And I've never met the woman, but I mean, you can get a sense of people. Like, I have a good, I've got pretty damn good sense about people, and
Yeah.
she was good, sweet people. So Mary says, like Lizard was saying earlier, quote, if you don't want
If
if
they
they don't want you at their table, make your own. And I'm like, oh, that's just powerful right there. Think about that, everybody. If they don't want you at their table, make your own.
um I don't know how to make a table, y'all. I'll just keep joining the fam.
But I'm just like, take note, Cody. There's no whining, no blaming, none of the drama. She's like, okay, fine. I'm gonna make a life for myself, and I'm gonna be happy. And I got people at my table who love me and want to be here and support me. And screw all everybody who don't want to be at it.
We still want a book, Mary.
Oh, please, Mary, please.
Okay, well, Cody doesn't get a trash talker anymore. You spent like 20 something years not trash talking him, but we need it. We need it in a book.
Or hey, girl, just come on, talk to us. Do a little interview. You can have editorial control. If there's something that slips out that you don't want aired, I'm cool with that, man. I just want to talk to you and be like, how is your life now? And is there anything that you want the world to know out there that has maybe been misled or lied about you that you want to set the record straight? Because I've been divorced and I've had an ex-husband who does nothing but talk shit about you to everybody he sees, including your children. And yeah, I know how frustrating that can be. And now that you're free of him, you can say whatever you want. So I don't want to get you in trouble with TLC, but if you got anything you want to say, girl, you come on to Mama's house.
Or if you just don't want to ever think about him again, we also respect that.
Oh no, I'm telling you,
Live your best life.
she's happy and she wants to live her best life, but everybody wants to tell their side. Everybody wants to set the record straight because nobody wants to be talked shit about.
I want a book.
But yeah, Mary, if you got a book, please. I'd love to talk to you about your book too. If you have something coming out, you wanna I know we don't have like a huge circulation right now, but I would love to talk to you if you're doing any book tour coming up. Please think of us. So Cody says Janelle plays the victim card about Robin all the time. And I'm like, you're a pig and you are only wanting to reconcile with her for your family, again, he says. And I'm like, this is why your children hate you. You know, I mean, like,
He
I'm
used
a grown woman. If you were my dad, me and you, I'd fucking punch you in your face. Me and you would rumble. You do that shit to a mom was as good as Janelle? No. You do that to someone who's as good a mom as Mary or Christine? No. Oh, dude. No. Just no. Me and you are come from different places. That's not how you treat a woman like that. No.
And he's like, well, me and Mary can now be friends now. I'm like, Mary doesn't want to talk to you either, dude. The only reason she let you at her house was because you said you were helping move furniture. She didn't want you in there.
Right, you kind of invited yourself, probably. And Janelle says she doesn't want to be married to Cody anymore. Just straight out says it. And again, that truth, I love it. No more beating around the bush and alluding to things and keeping your tongue. No, I love that Janelle is bringing it this season. Um, and she says Mary got a spiritual release, so why can't I? And I'm like, that's what I was thinking like a couple episodes ago when you were like, I wouldn't even know who to talk to about getting a spiritual release. Dude, Mary just got one super easy. Like, talk to your sister wife or ex sister wife, or talk to the person who had your back for 30 years. How's that?
Maybe that's will happen. Janelle and Mary start talking, and she helps her get her spiritual release.
Man, I hope they all get together and like get over their own crap because people make mistakes. Shit happens. I don't know how fucking long ago it was, but move on. But Janelle says that he's considered a failure in their culture because of all of his wives left but one. And I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure he's considered a failure by everybody who watches the show. But that was nice of you to only say that in your culture. That was nice of you. And let's be real, Cody wants out of Coyote Pass. He has no money. He can't pay it off. He can't afford to build there. Um, and he has no intention of building there anymore. None. Because he's like, if Janelle wants me to buy her out, well, he didn't say that. He's like, if Janelle builds there, he's like, I don't want to live there with my ex-wife and my current wife. And he's like, but if
But he still wants to have a relationship with Janelle, apparently.
yeah, only for the kids though, only for the kids.
That's not how it works, dude. That's not. You don't stay for the kids because the kids understand you're being a dick to their mom.
Right? They're all grown now. You forget. So then Cody asked Janelle why Maddie didn't call and tell him that she was pregnant. And she's like, well, you haven't been to see them since Evie was born 3 years ago. So, like, if you haven't paid any attention to the ones that are already on this earth, why would you care about the one that's in her womb?
Because he's a man.
He only likes, like, I personally think that because Evie was born disabled, that is an issue for him. I think he is uncomfortable and doesn't know like how to like deal with like how to hold her and all that because all the other grandkids he couldn't get enough of, you know.
But that's so ableist and
And I'm not saying that for true. I'm just saying I'm thinking that that's the issue because he couldn't get enough of Maddie and Caleb and their kid and Axel, and then Evie's born. All of a sudden he ghosts. You know what I mean? So to me, like make the correlation, and the only thing that's changed is that. And then you're right. If that's the reason, that's disgusting. And I think that maybe that Maddie's not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I think she put it together too, and that's why she won't talk to him.
And you notice, though, that when Mackenzie had twins, he was so excited to see them.
And willing to travel to Utah, so it's not like they were right next door. And next time, like they're gonna use the excuse that they live in North Carolina. I think it's North Carolina, maybe it's South Carolina, one of the two. But he had to travel to Utah to see McKelty's babies. So there's no reason why you can't jump on a plane for a weekend even. You know, you can jump on a plane for a few hours, spend couple days there, fly home. It's like what, 2 nights? You can be away from, school-age children for 2 nights.
But could he afford it?
That's not a very good question. So he asks her like, why doesn't she talk to me? And she's like, what's their issue and all that? And she's like, I'm not getting involved. I'm not gonna be in the middle. Talk, to ask them or whatever.
Go talk to your kids.
And he's like, oh, so it's jealousy and gossip. And I thought that is so fucking dismissive and demeaning.
Maybe you're getting
you. Okay, this is bringing up, I'm getting triggered by my own family stuff here. But yeah, that demeaning and dismissing of people, and it's just, oh, you need to talk now because I need a drink or something.
Okay, I'm gonna go read Mom's notes. I was a hero for 25 years to these kids, and now I'm Rust. Well,
Not.
yeah, and now I'm not. Well, you could be Rust too.
But by the end of the show, my hand hurts really bad.
Oh no, it's fine. But again, it shows how much he only cares about the little kids because they can't think beyond of, oh, Dad's here, yay,
Or grandpa.
or Grandpa, and it's just, it's gross. It's very disgusting, and the only reason why he's still with Robin and they're around her kids is claiming that she's his
They're
soulmate,
little.
and because they're little. And even Robin early in the episode says they think I can control Cody, but if you know Cody, nothing can control him. And you hear multiple different stories about the same event. Like Robin just says she told Cody something about buying a house. She told Cody that her and Janelle both agreed she shouldn't. And so Cody got mad at Janelle for saying that Robin shouldn't have bought the house. And that's what made me think, what else if they just got together? All their stories wouldn't match because he would tell everyone something different.
And it all comes back to him. She has no issue with stuff, but she talks about random stuff about her day with him. He takes offense on her behalf
because she should be able to get anything she wants whenever.
And so then he makes a fight with the other wife about her when she was never upset in the first place. He caused all the, okay, I'm not going to say all because women are women and whatever, but I'd say good, like 60% of the drama between the wives was caused by Cody.
But also, I think he got mad because Janelle was honest to Robin about the finances, about how her buying the house would take a extreme hit to their finances.
Well, and he is the only one that wanted them to buy the house. And the fact that she was teaming up with Robin against him is why he was really pissed. But then he turned it around to make it about, oh, well, you don't want her to have this and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It's like he always turns it around to whatever he's angry about. He makes it on behalf of Robin just so he can scream at somebody and not get in trouble.
And that's why whenever I hear about all the different stories about Robin being like, I never had an issue. I love being a part of the Sister Wives and all this stuff. And again, it just seems like almost an abusive, like controlling relationship where Robin only gets bits and pieces and she's isolated and from the other members of the wives because again, they're supposed to be a unit, but there's an obvious dissonance between how Cody treats them and how they treat Robin. And
again, he probably lies and says they get the exact same thing as you and blah, blah, blah. And we all know Cody does not tell the truth when it comes to finances. So here at the end of the show, Janelle tells Cody she talked to a real estate attorney who will meet with both of them to decide like how best to go about dealing with Coyote Pass. And Cody says, quote, I think Janelle would do anything she could to screw me, so she's afraid I'll try to screw her. I'm bitter and I don't care. And I'm like,
at least he's honest about that.
True, I mean, he's being honest, but I'm just like, why does he think that Janelle would screw him? I mean, okay, I know when it comes to money and finances and things, there's loopholes and there's a way to do things that aren't quite up and up. And so, I mean, maybe he knows that because she's able to do that financially that, like, you know, she's shady or whatever, but that's just somebody who doesn't really truly understand finances.
Yeah.
And so he says, I have made an effort for years. What did you give me? You betrayed me. And it all comes back to the fact that she stayed friends with Christine when Christine decided to leave him. And the fact that she's still friends with Christine. And I'm just like, L fucking O fucking L, Cody, because you are pathetic. And that right there shows how insecure and pathetic you are. You have no self-esteem, evidently. All of your bravado and all your big talk is empty bullshit. Because evidently you can't handle your wife being friends with your ex.
Who is also not just your ex-wife, but also the mother of six of your children. So, like, of course she would stay close with the woman she helped raise her kids with for years. I mean, you weren't around.
Amen. Okay, you guys, that wraps up season 19, episode 8 of Sister Wives. As always, we dedicate our entire
So we're
season.
gonna talk about the house.
Oh yeah, sorry. Before we wrap it up, it came out last week that Cody and Robin bought a new house.
$2.1 million house.
I'm thinking they sold Coyote Pass.
They had to have like they had to be like hush hush because the TLC don't talk about it. This might be good for an episode, but they had to. They had.
They had to have sold Coyote Pass because Coyote Pass is worth about $1 million, and if they sold their other house for the 1 point whatever million they were trying to sell it for, that put them about in the range of that type of house. But why? Okay, who's getting married? I think one of the girls was getting married, and they want them all to live in the house together. Because remember last episode, Cody said that was his dream still. And even this episode have happened. All of his kids across the street from him, and are all living in one big house. And I'm just like, something's going on. There's a reason why they had to get a bigger house.
I'm so sorry. This is more like a cult thing at this point. No one leaves. You just stay in the same place. You can't move farther than across the street. Is this like a commune or something? Is he wanting a commune?
That's what it's starting to. That's exactly what he wanted to start with. Was everybody in one big house, and then everybody, as the kids get older, they just build houses on the property. That was the whole point of the big property. So it's like it's all crazy to me. And you guys look online. I'll try to get some pictures of the new house. It's very difficult to find information about it right now because again they're trying to keep it quiet because of the show. But I will do my best to get some pictures of the new house up on this episode for you. Anything else for you to talk about?
Nope, just everyone, if anything that Cody does, if there's more than 5 things your spouse, partner does, that at least 5 things that Cody does, rethink about it.
Okay, there's that advice from Lizard Disguise. Okay. All right, guys, as we are dedicating our entire season to suicide prevention because we are losing way, way too many people from all walks of life to suicide, and it is so preventable. There is help. People do care. There is someone right now waiting to talk to you if you need help, or if you know someone that you think might need help. It's very simple. It's free. Call 988 from your cell phone and reach someone at the suicide hotline. If you are not a talker, I get that. I don't really like talking on the phone that much. You can text pound 988 or hashtag or the number symbol, whatever you know it as, to text to someone at the suicide hotline. We do care. We do understand. I understand what it is like to be depressed and suicidal or to attempt suicide. And I can only thank God that I'm still alive and I'm here with my kids and my husband and all of you. So I hope if you need help, you reach out today and get it. All right, guys. That's it for this episode. Until next time. Bye.